Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are... Sorry, alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Getting into this battle here. Sorry, my bad. We got to take care of this. And, interesting. JC versus... REPOI. JC versus REPOI. JC versus REPOI. Okay. So JC versus REPOI. This is actually an interesting map and battle, folks. Okay, so JC is actually taking into in a battle here. They're actually taking an interesting stance on this. Looks like they're taking off with some interesting bans on this, and it's interesting. So Marcia has been banned on both sides, huh? But yeah, this is interesting. Why did they ban the Marcias on both sides? I don't get it. I didn't get it. But interesting. So this is actually interesting. But yeah, this is actually unreal though. This is actually unreal. But anyhow, I don't know why they made him an Amasio. Interesting. So this is actually a fantastic battle, folks. I mean, like, the interesting lineup, both for the REPOI. REPOI is coming out swinging with the Montag, Kremlin, Moskva, two Neveskis, Stalingrad, two Gearings, and Shimakaze. JC's coming out swinging with the higher Kremlin, two Moskvas, Neveskis, and also Gearing and Shimakaze Ragnar. Interesting. But I have no idea why they banned that thing. The Marcio. Anyway, I'm trying to clarify that information, but it doesn't make sense though. But anyhow, it happens, you know, it happens. But yeah, folks, good luck in the giveaway. Good luck in the giveaway, folks. Hashtag KOTS, but all good. Okay, Torps have been fine at this stage, so anything can happen here. But this is interesting. Wow, JC is actually really hanging back. So is REPOI. Shimakaze REPOI is coming out wide at D. JC is actually taking the opportunity to come at swing in D. Push, very hard push over an A. And looks like Charlie is being really smashed with Torpedo Haven. There's a lot of torps going on. Smoke's going on as well. Good opportunity for the Neveski to stay covered, which is fantastic, thanks to the Shimakaze. Very smart play there. Torps are coming in there, but it's actually really going there at slow pace. So anything can happen. But okay. But anyhow, I think that's an interesting gameplay at this stage. A lot of torps are going all over all directions here. Looks like the Stalingrad is actually hanging in there. REPOI are actually making a strong push for both Bravo and Charlie, but looks like Bravo's taking a strong swing force as well as A. A is still hanging in there and in play right now. So anything can happen, will happen here. So this is actually pretty much a full-on battle though. So anything can happen here, folks. I mean, like, honestly, definitely go check it out. Alright. But yes, I mean, like, that's just unreal. I can see it all happening, folks. It's like really an interesting turn of events in this battle. So anything can happen. Oh, that is unreal. I can see it now that the Charlie and also Alpha, you know, that can go either way. Looks like Charlie has been reset to the gearing. REPOI gearing has actually forced the retreat. Unreal. I mean, like, I don't know about that. But it is actually pretty full on though, so hang tight. I mean, like, there's a lot of torps incoming at this stage. Woohoo, there's a torps coming on the Kremlin. Kremlin is taking a bit of dodge and dance. Can he escape? No, he's taking one hit though. Alright, fair enough. So REPOI is taking one hit though, so JC is actually still full health at this stage. So anything can happen. But yeah, it's interesting. So it's unreal though, anything can happen this stage. Wow. Yep. That's unreal. I don't know what's going on here. A's been flanked on the left hand side pretty harsh at this stage. Looks like the Shimikase REPOI are coming back towards D, and D's left wide open, so anything can happen here. Alright, let's just see what happens over here. JC is actually playing cautiously. They actually have, you know, great confidence that they really got decap and ready and good play here. And Charlie has actually been hanging in quite well so far, so hey, it's like not bad at all. Unreal. But looks like there's a whole wave of incoming torps coming out. So anything can happen here, folks. I mean, like, it's actually not bad at all. Alright, so that's actually a pretty much an intensive battle here. The Kremlin is actually, for REPOI, is going to take 2 torps again, so that's going to hurt. But it's another set of torps from JC coming in, and anything can happen. Oh, looks like the gearing actually might be hit by a torp from JC. No, sorry, REPOI, but looks like no bad luck. Torps are going in towards the gearing and REPOI. But anything can happen here. It looks like the Moskva is actually taking a hit. The torps have taken another hit on the Kremlin again. The Kremlin is getting smashed too early in the game, and REPOI has to do something different about that to turn it around. JC is actually playing so passively that at the moment decap is actually being taken by the REPOI Shimikase at this stage. So anything can happen at this moment. So, I don't know about you, but this is actually an interesting turn of events. Okay, I don't know, but there's like a lot of exchange of gunfire from the Ohio towards the Stalingrad and REPOI. The REPOI gearing is actually firing long-range torps, trying to fire towards the Nevesky and the gearing. Taking a blind guess by the looks of it, and looks like neither the Nevesky or the gearing on JC are actually budging. It's actually interesting, both ships have themselves turned their rears towards them, the REPOI players, and actually are making the right choice of movement right now. So anything can happen here. Well, it looks like the Ohio is actually moving around the position, as actually could go either way. It looks like an interesting battle game plan. They're coming by REPOI. REPOI bounced back a little bit with 2 caps in play, but they're falling behind in points. JC is still taking the lead with 600, so basically anything can happen either way. The JC gearing has actually been hit. The gearing and REPOI might be able to dodge all these torps. I'm going to keep a close eye on that at the moment. Nevesky has fired up his radar, and it's a good ship to play with, just letting you know. The Nevesky is actually pretty decent. And smokes have come up, and it looks like the torps are coming in. And looks like the Nevesky are going to take a possible 1 torp here. No, he's actually dodged it smoothly. Okay, fantastic. A lot of gunfire going on at the gearing, so JC gearing might go down in a moment here. Anything can happen, but there's nothing really happening over at Delta. Delta is held by REPOI at this stage, but there is Shimakaze and get Ragnar going toe to toe with each other in there, and looks like the Noveski and the Montana are hiding behind it on. I don't know what's going on there, what's the gameplay, but it looks like the Charlie JC cap on C is still well in play at this stage, and the gearing and the Moskva are still hanging in there. They've been smoked up and they're not making any moves at this stage. The Stalingrad has actually moved in out of position to engage the higher long range, but it looks like anything can happen. JC gearing is still surviving on the buy thread and only has a small amount, about at least, what is it, 5600 health left over, so anything can happen here. Torps are coming into Noveski, and it looks like a pretty much interesting torp range attack, and might just hit him. No, he just narrowly dodged it. Wow, that's unreal. Okay, so anything can happen here. There's a whole bunch of torps coming over here. Oh, the Ragnar's getting shelled upon by the Moskva at long range, and there's torps coming in. Oh, look out, the Kremlin might eat a couple of torps going this way. Hang on, hold on to your seats. Incoming, one torp has hit the first wave. Can the Kremlin dodge the other two? Maybe not. He's coming in there. Yep. So anything can happen here. I mean, like, this is unreal, folks. This is pretty much an interesting turn of events here. Oh wow, I don't know. Kremlin ate 2 torps at least, so it's interesting that the Kremlin's taking a bit. Whoa! What the hell just happened? The Noveski got beaten. The Noveski got beaten by the Noveski. Holy snap! I did not see that coming. Okay, that is an interesting blow from JC, losing the Noveski to a REPOI. Noveski, so that's an interesting 1-for-1 exchange. Okay, see what's going to happen here. Okay, so we're gonna move. Okay, so a lot of action, gunfire happening over at D. So look at this, like unreal. So this is unreal. What's going on here? So anything can happen, will happen. But yeah, I mean, like, that's an actually interesting battle here. So unreal, it can happen either way. Good luck everybody for joining the giveaways, and hashtag KOTS is the giveaways. Thank you for the moderators and also the people who are helping out, and also the people from the stream team for the stream. I do thank you, appreciate you very much. In this battle, anything can happen here. REPOI is actually making an interesting comeback. They're still a little bit behind, but A cap is getting taken by REPOI, and D cap might fall to JC, because JC is making a strong push. Yeah, looks like that's the case. The D cap is getting pushed hard at this stage by JC. Also aggressive pushing from JC. This is interesting. 2 caps are still in play. It's interesting. But there's a lot of torps all over the place. They are actually getting towards the Stalingrad, and the Stalingrad just dodged them. Kremlin's taking an absolute beating from the gearing of JC. They really got to get rid of that gearing. And REPOI is actually not in the right spot at the moment, so anything can happen at this stage. But yeah, I mean, like, that's unreal. A lot of torps coming in, and yes, fantastic. I just cannot believe it. There's a lot of torps everywhere. I mean, like, if you want to see a World of Warships with a lot of torpedoes, here you go. A lot of torps, Torp Haven. So, torps shenanigans are real. There's a lot of torps coming in from REPOI going towards JC, and REPOI gearing is coming right at the rear of the Moskva Oh, Torps are coming in on the Moskva. Moskva is trying to dance. The Moskva is trying to dance. The Torps going in, and I cannot believe it. The gearing missed. What the hell? The Moskva managed to dodge that. Unreal. JC Moskva is taking it like a champ. The REPOI gearing just got absolutely annihilated. But looks like REPOI has 3 caps in play to catch the JC team. But they got to stop losing ships if they want to catch up. But it looks like JC is holding the line quite well and still taking the lead. We're still 900. Anything can happen here, folks. REPOI needs to make a couple good kills, and they really need to make them soon and fast. So it looks like interesting gameplay happening here. I don't know about this, but it looks like REPOI is actually... JC has taken down a ship. Wow, okay, so we got 2 for 2 at this stage. Anything can happen on both sides. That's just unreal. Anything can happen on both sides. So this is unreal, folks. I mean, like, I don't know about you, but I'm actually pretty excited how everything is going on. Wow. There's a lot of torps everywhere. REPOI is actually firing torps everywhere, and also JC is just like hanging in there. The Montana of REPOI is taking a brutal beating over here. And if they lose the REPOI Montana, JC could take the lead again and push hard. So the REPOI Montana has to survive as long as it can, but he's really trying hard to take out hits on the Moskva. Moskva's taking a couple of citadels, and looks like he's actually trying to do what he can. The Vesky is focusing fire on him. Montana's barreling towards the Kremlin. The Vesky is firing at long range with AP shells. Anything can happen here. There's a lot of torps coming in. Torps coming into the Kremlin. Well, REPOI torps are not going to hit that poor thing. So much for friendly fire. Looks like, wait a minute. Okay. JC had really reciprocated with a lot of war torps on there. Shimikaze and gearing torps. Can this Kremlin dance? Whoa. No, he might not. 2 torps. He's holding by a thread. REPOI is like gonna lose 2 battleships simultaneously on both the over towards D and also towards Kremlin's down, and the Moskva, the Montana's about to go down as well, and JC will probably take the lead and secure this battle. So wow, that is surprising what JC has done, and look at that, JC is now taking the lead. Even though they only have like 1 cap and they actually killed a couple of battleships, the enemy team doesn't have much left over to go. JC's taking a beating though. All their ships are actually taking a brutal beating, but they're actually focusing fire and taking out the gearing. The gearing is taking a charge towards the Ragnar, and that is the game right there, folks. I don't know about you, that was a bit unreal. A bit unreal. So JC has beaten REPOI on that match as well too.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's because it's hot in my room right now. Most likely it is, but I've got sweaty palms over that one, ladies and gents.
Oh, the amount of torps that they were dodging, like some of those dodges, like I swear they should have hit, but RNG was on their side for sure.
I mean, I've been hit by a Shimikaze 20k torps when I'm in Ohio from like 25k's away, mate, and somehow I've made my way into them. It's almost like they're heat-seeking things. So for me now, after casting this, like you see these things, I'm like, he won't be able to dodge that. Oh yeah, he's dodged it. It's kind of the bad part about watching King of the Seas is I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to dodge that. Yeah, that's just the norm. He's just so good now, except for Wolfcane, of course. He just runs straight into him.
Oh,
I think
right.
I'm pretty sure Wolf
Like a
just runs
champ.
into it, send the message that he can still win a
Yeah.
gunfight at 10%
Exactly.
HP.
And what other way you're supposed to get your AR at maximum capacity?
The
Oh
AR
my
excuse.
goodness.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
I mean, there was a guy there who took about, I think it was about 9 torps, I think I counted.
Yeah, the Kremlin. He took so many torpedoes.
I thought he was going to go down, like, for sure.
Well, he was the
But-
one that took 3 in the first rack from the Shimakaze, and then I think he took 1 in the next, and that's when he got the permaflood. And he just hanged on. What I'm talking about is that Mosfer push.
Yeah,
The
talking
Mosfer,
about,
the
No,
Mosfer
go.
push.
talking
What
about
do you think-
torpedoes, that gearing, missing those torps on the Mosfer, that was pretty costly.
Oh,
See, I've done a take on that. I think it was an ill-advised rush in the first place.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think they used to do that. And even if he landed the torps, he was out of smoke. I think we can go back to the replay and watch. He had laid smoke to save Death Skies and whoever's was Taige in the Stalingrad over there. So he didn't have smoke to disengage against the enemy by that point.
Yeah,
So even if the Moscow had gone down to his torps extremely quickly in the first initial torp salvo, after that, what's the follow-up? What's the disengagement plan after that? You know?
Well,
hide behind the corpse.
He wasn't in the position to do that, though.
Oh, and Dobby, to answer your question about the border penalty, if you touch the border, you should die.
You reckon? You touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
Make
don't
me
even
die.
touch
Just
it.
incinerate.
Don't even touch it.
Well, that is a good deterrence, I suppose. So
Forward.
I think from that push onto the Mosfer, I reckon he would have been better off angling, dropping the torps to make sure that Mosfer actually rotated back around that island, basically pushing that Mosfer in anyways, because he was done. Right? Like even after that, he took no damage from the gearing. No, none. So if he would have used his torpedoes in the same fashion, even if he missed, at least he would have pushed him further into the island or caught him a flank, so that way he couldn't actually swing all his guns around. I think that would have been the smarter move. But I mean, that's one of those situations where I would have loved to be in the Discord just listening to what's going on. Because I honestly, in my mind, I actually don't think that was self-engaged. I have a feeling someone said push that Mosfer in their channel just then.
Oh, no doubt. Someone gave him the command.
Yeah, and he just went in, and it's just like make or break. He let all his racks go at once, and it was like, well, you know, at the very least, I'll be able to farm him down if I get taken down. I mean, he did hold on to himself for a little bit. I mean, it was about 5 seconds, but did let them go, and then he was able to hold on to his life. But I mean, I wouldn't say that is the defining moment of the game. Moscow got taken down anyways. No. I think it was just better control from JC altogether.
Yeah, I'm completely shocked. For JC to come in and sweep, kind of a dynasty clan, you could kind of say. Like they're probably one of the three dynasties on the Asia server. Like it unreal. JC look like world beaters.
Yep. You should give him the usurper title.
Actual.
Usurping REPOI's place on the international finals.
Crazy.
So that will mean that REPOI makes it in either the the 5th, 6th, or 7th place, depending on how I don't know how the points brackets work beyond I guess the 3rd and 4th.
Okay, folks, while that's happening in the background, so basically we are doing the giveaway for the next round for hashtag KOTS. Please jump in. Congratulations to the winners for the first round. The 4th person hasn't responded yet, so we're just going to continue on and keep moving. So while we're waiting, we'll get back to the panel and listen to what they're saying. So enjoy.
Going to the internationals, where the 4th place team actually made it in. I think it might have been Caxa went forward and went into the internationals, if I'm correct. Tell me if I'm speaking crap, but I
think
believe
you're right.
I think there was the team that was actually in the 3rd place, or might even be in the 2nd place, was ineligible to make it into the finals, and as a result, the 4th place team was advanced. And actually, the 4th place team ended up going further than the original 2nd place team, who I guess was knocked out in the first rounds of the internationals. So, I mean, it's unlikely, but if somehow there's some sort of contention, you never know. Don't count them out. But it does count him out for today. It does count him out for today, which means we're waiting on Solo versus Aya. I mean, I've got the spreadsheet up, and I'm sure other people do. What do you reckon? Well, considering that I'm asking you what it is, and the game's still going, what do you reckon the score is, Sherps?
Score is how long have we been? We played 2 matches so far.
I'm saying
reckon
1-1.
it's, I reckon yeah, it's 1-1. More likely that Aya is pulling ahead, but probably 1-1. Solo's an alright clan from the times that we faced him.
Yeah.
Well, it is 1-1. And we can go and check out Mihono Bourbon, Uacat Lenny. I mean, Uacat isn't actually on. Is Uacat on Twitch or on Bilibili?
Yocat's on Bilibili, I believe. I think there's someone else.
But either way, this pretty much leads us into potentially a large period of time for a gap. The next game will start in approximately 30 minutes. They might bring it forward if the Aya versus Solo game does get decided in the next 20 minutes.
Yes.
Which leads us into the third place game. So it's pretty important to talk about again why this is such a crucial game. Third place does actually advance into the international finals. So if we actually look at the prizes for the first through to fifth and eighth, so even if you're in eighth place, walk away with $2,500 for your team. That can be split up between at least the minimum of 9 players. Most teams. Wolfgang, how many spares did ANC have? The clan.
We had 15 players all up, so we had 6 spares.
See, it's up to the team captain as well to decide how the money gets spent. So, for example, let's say you've got 15 players and you only play 10 of them. It's up to the team captain to decide how that money is divided. But 5th to 8th place in the international finals gets $2,500 split between the team, all the way up to first place, which gets $17,500. So,
wait, so if you're a captain and hypothetically speaking, and asking for a friend here, you're a bit of a prick. You can just take it all yourself.
No.
Sherpa.
So minimum of 9, and I think it's the initial 9 for the first game or something along those lines. But beyond that, so your spare rotational teams, I think that's where it comes into it.
Oh, so they can only choose how much they give their spares.
Well, I think it depends on. So if you want to say, I think the minimum's 9, split between, and then you can decide how the rest is split up.
Oh, I see.
So theoretically, Sherpa leads a clan to the finals, wins the finals, bags 17 grand for the clan.
Well,
So Sherpa can't just walk away with all of it.
No.
Alright.
So our actual official ruling is it's divided by the amount of team members that represent in the international roster. So if you wanted to take 15 into the regional finals and then sack
Oh, wow.
the remaining and then just take 9 in, technically the rulings say whoever represents the international finals is eligible.
What if you just played by yourself with 8 other bots and tried to win?
That sounded so wrong.
Dude.
We're leaving that one
would
alone.
actually be a big flex.
I'm looking at no one here specifically.
Thanks.
So yeah, that will mean that JC does move into that third place. The third place playoffs is a best out of 5. So this will be the first time we're seeing best out of 5 this season. The way it works is, I believe Team A gets to decide the map for the first, and then goes Bravo, Alpha. So technically, JC coming in with a lower bracket 4-1 has the slight advantage for map choices here because they get 3 out of the 5. But that said, is that how it works?
No, I actually think map 5 and the spawn on map 5 is randomized.
Randomized. You're exactly right.
Yeah,
it is randomized. So it will be randomized. So they get an even play. The only thing that's different is technically JC gets the first and third pick, so they can kind of rule out the third because 2 maps are gone. So they have the slight advantage to play off. But that said, as we discussed yesterday, it's not always about map choices. Sometimes it's about being able to play on all maps on both spawns. So we all know that typically a team might play better on one spawn, or a map might have a slight advantage to another. I mean, I would say I have a feeling Aya is going to probably move forward here. It'll be a JC versus Aya, third place. And I mean, if I was a betting man, even if it's, I reckon Solo or Aya, regardless who gets in, will probably be JC. That's just my general feel. I don't know why. I just have that general feel.
Well, JC, we're having to be feeling pretty good after beating REPOI there. So
That's a huge win.
Yep.
But do you feel like, let's get into the second spectrum kind of analytics here. Do you feel like the longer games, like the longer series, suits these bigger clans?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Best of 5, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like the best of 5. Do you feel like the longer series suits clans like REPOI, like KOTS, like Vor, like -1S?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it gives them a scratch, mate. It gives them a scratch, as in like, let's say REPOI stuffed up that first game, right? Because we can all admit that, well, not didn't stuff up, they got unlucky because of that Conqueror. It doesn't feel as bad in a best out of 5 if that happens, because you know that you potentially have the ability to claw your way back.
Yeah.
Because it's 1 game out of 5, right? You play the next game, even if you play the next game and something else similar happens, you still got 3 games in a row, mind you, to crawl back. So you don't go with that gut feel of like, oh shit, team. This is make or break. This game's next.
But, Porky, are you sort of meaning in terms of like clans that maybe aren't used to having to do back-to-back matches like that, where they start to burn out?
Yeah, I mean, I completely. Yeah, that's exactly it. I also think like, you could also look at it like it's a bit like an experiment, right? Where these are only 3 games. It's a very short sample. Where 5 is like it's 2 more, so it's a lot bigger chunk. Like
yes, I think it's so you've got 3, and then you just add the 1, and that makes it 4, and then 5. So yes,
alright.
You guys are brilliant at mess.
You guys are so mean to me. I get invited on. So guys, for next COTS, I'm looking for 4 other casters.
Well,
Well,
4.
my vision.
Well, if you
But no,
think Sherpa's going with you, mate, he's staying here.
Assuming I want Sherpa. I'm going to the CIS server. I'm going to cast Russian COTS.
Oh
better
wow!
start learning Russian then. Goodbye.
In English.
Don't hit you out.
I'll be the new demographic.
Don't let the door hit you on the way
You heard that.
out. But no, just like going by what I said, something I said yesterday. Teams where, for teams which have, I guess you can say more resilience and more trust built up. Something like a Vor team, for example, they do favor a 3 matchup, so a 3-game matchup as opposed to a 5-game matchup, more, just because the pressure is on, right? The pressure is more extreme, more concentrated. More concentrated in these individual matches, and doesn't really give you a chance to come back and readjust yourself. And REPOI this season isn't running an all old guard team. They have a few new players in there, in the roster, and I think that could definitely have been a detriment to their team morale as well as cohesion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of personally, I always like when best of 5s go to the best of 5. Ultimately, we're here anyways until the grand final kicks off. So, I mean, anyone must, like, you have to agree that the best way this can play out is the teams win 2 apiece and it goes down to the final game. I'd like to say either way. So does anyone know where Solo actually originates from?
Asia server.
Oh, good answer.
Oh, go 42.
I can check. I can check.
That's good for me, wasn't it?
Well, it might be good to talk about the demographic play here, because one thing that we see in the Asia server and also versus most of the other servers other than EU is that Asia is probably the most split demographic as far as language is concerned, and then also location. So, I mean, by the end of today, we'll probably finish at my time, 11 or 11:30.
Solo's Japanese. Sorry, to interrupt.
Japanese?
Solo's Japanese.
Okay.
Yep, Japanese.
And JC based out of
Taiwan, I think.
okay.
Let me just check again in game.
And where would Aya be from?
Aya is also Japanese, I do believe.
Okay, so potentially Japanese versus against each other, and then
No,
JC and Taiwan.
JC is also Japanese.
Okay, so 3 Japanese teams making, which is awesome for the official World of Warships channel, because that is actually being streamed in Japanese. So if you're Japanese watching us Aussies going, what the hell are these guys talking about? And obviously our guy from across the sea there with the beard.
Yeah.
Actually, someone said Wolfgang looks like a old mate out of X-Men. What's his name? Sabretooth or whatever his name, Sabretooth is or whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh shit! That's
Yeah, I know, right?
And Kimmy's like, holy hell, he does look like Sabretooth out of X-Men. So our Universal X-Men here. But
I'm
that
just
will mean...
gonna get a picture up of him real quick and put it over Wolfgang.
But
Laced.
I mean that'll lead us into about a 20-minute break here potentially, with I think a couple of intermissions for a bit of a chinwag between us all. So, guys and girl, I reckon we have a quick break here. We duck to the loo. We do some giveaways, which is a good segue to talk about the giveaway codes in everyone's channel. Sherps, is it Gib code again today?
Yep, it is. Once again, exclamation mark Gib code. Yep.
Exclamation mark Gib code.
Yep.
Yep.
For me, it's exclamation KOTS XIII. Kimmy, what is your giveaway code?
Hashtag KOTS.
Hashtag KOTS. Mr. Porky.
Exclamation mark, I blame Sherpa.
Exclamation mark.
Oh, what?
I'm honored. No, I'm genuinely honored that you actually
That's
put my name
awesome.
as your
That's
giveaway
like,
code.
that's fun.
should
That's
be.
awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I specifically shouted you out in the title as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Rev, what is your giveaway code, young man?
Hashtag COTS, mate.
Hashtag KOTS and Wolfie.
Hashtag KOTS.
All right, ladies and gents. Well, there you go. They're all the giveaway codes. You can jump to the Mates and Legends channel. You can check out all the individuals that are streaming today. Make sure you give everyone a follow. There's big shout out to Kimmy and Rev making the milestones for the partner accomplishment. So if you could help me out and jump into their channels, and also Wolfie, Sherps, you are a partner, aren't you?
A partner? No, I'm too
Make
lazy
sure
to make partner.
Oh, what? Come
Make
on,
sure
man.
He was a bit
Sherps
let down
has-
there. He thought you were going to
down.
ask him, Ships, you want to be my partner?
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll have to ask my wife.
Sorry, I'm married to my right hand.
Oh, talk to the hand, man.
All right. Well, make sure you check everyone out, Legends, and we'll see you guys and girls.